Hey, it's your man, the one and only David L. March Sr., and you have just tuned in to the Sons to Fathers Nugget. And today we are going to be talking about the challenges of raising a girl. Now, I don't know how many of you men out there have daughters, but I have two daughters. But I also have many other daughters that call me Mr. Dad or Uncle Dad or, that type of thing. Not my actual biological daughters, but daughters in the Lord. Well, I hope you've been enjoying these Sons to Fathers Nuggets. I really do. If you have been enjoying them and you are listening, please hit me up on Facebook and let me know. David L. March Sr. Man. The challenges of raising a girl. Oh, I can't forget that. Shout out to my man E-Life. Music, beats. Eric Simmons, man. Yo, check him out, man. If y'all need beats, if you are a up-and-coming singer or rapper or, something like that, and you need beats, check out my man, E-Life. Music Beats on YouTube. Tell him I sent you over. Alright? Holla at him. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. Alright. Now, again, I hope you've been enjoying the podcast here, the Sons to Fathers Nugget. And I pray that it is helping you in some way, form, or fashion. Today, again, like I said, I want to talk about the challenges of raising a girl. I have two daughters. They're both teenagers. One is about to become a 20-year-old. And that still blows my mind that I have a daughter that's soon to be 20. And then my second daughter is soon to be 18 in 10 days. 18 in 10 days. I remember times watching them grow up, and they would crawl into the crib with their brother and try to change his diaper, put makeup on him, and things like that, and all the stuff that came along with having daughters at that age. And now, as they're getting older, as my mentor Daryl Wicker would say, the silverback gorilla, that is, comes out every once in a while when the young man tries to approach. But I gotta think and keep that in balance, because we were all there once in our lifetime. So we got to remember that. You got to take those things into consideration. But there got to be balance with that as well. We have a rule here that in order for the young man to want to date my daughter, he must come talk to me. So that's very important. So that's just a little leeway with you guys, and hopefully that you guys can instill that with your daughters. But, having daughters, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. I remember one time when our oldest was in middle school, she had some issues, and she came home one day, and she was just so emotional over it. And I'm like thinking to myself, good Lord, is this what I have to go through for the next 18 years? Actually, then we had our second daughter 2 years later, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, here we go again. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. And I tell them often that Dad doesn't know everything, because Dad's never had daughters before. I have not ever had a daughter, and I've not actually raised daughters. I've been around people who have, and thank God that God has put me around some very powerful men of God that have strengthened me and poured into me and give me insight to raising daughters, interracial daughters at that. So that right there alone is a challenge. But God is helping Krista and I get through that. But these are some challenges of raising a girl that these nuggets I wanted to share with you today. The first one is the drama. Now, when emotions run deep, it can easily turn into oversensitivity and hurt feelings. Any logic or proper perspective gives way to disproportionate responses. I wrote this down. I'm trying to read my own handwriting. Inconsistent behavior and thick tension. It can be like having an exposed nerve in the house. Yes, it can. The more daughters, the more drama there tends to be. She took my clothes. She took my makeup. Where's my brush? You wore my shoes. You wore my pants. You wore this. You wore that. You took this out of my room. Dad, Mom. If you have daughters, you know that. If you have daughters, plural, you've been through that. But if you haven't, and you only have one, thank your gracious Father in heaven for that. No, I love my daughters. I do. Now, with all this drama, I just want to let you know it takes a lot of patience and a lot of empathy. Like I said, I told my daughters a long time ago that because this is all still very new to me, there's going to be a lot of apologies and a lot of I'm sorries coming from Daddy. Excuse me. It's very early in the morning for me. And with those apologies, there's empathy. And I know I got to have patience and I got to have understanding. So please bear with me. And I want to encourage you guys to have an open dialogue. You don't hear me say this often, especially during this podcast. An open dialogue with your daughter. You got to have that. Everybody has a daddy's girl. Yeah, well, some of us are blessed with two. But it doesn't make it any easier, trust me. But God will help you if you do it a biblical way. Now, the best thing to do is to try to understand her. No matter how crazy she may seem, no matter how off the wall things might look, the best thing to do is try to understand where she is. Put yourself in her shoes. Now, if you have a daughter consistently surrounded by drama, chances are high she is drawn to she is drawn to it. Girls who are drawn to drama will create it when everything is peaceful. I have only one that's like that. Just one. Thank you, Lord. She needs to learn how to manage those desires and channel them into something positive. So this is something you can help your daughter with if she's consistently drawn to drama or if she constantly has drama around her. Help her find something positive to channel that energy into. Now, she could work a job or volunteer at a place where she has to help resolve a situation where emotions tend to be very high. My middle daughter and my oldest daughter both worked at the Columbus Zoo for a while. They all had their different views and opinions on it and different situations. Now, both my daughters work right now. One works at Burger King and one works at the hospital at Doctors West. And even with that, there's drama that goes on with that. And as a father, you have to take a step back, pray for patience, have empathy, and try to understand and put yourself in their shoes. But most of all, listen. Listen. Sometimes all they need is somebody to listen to, not to try to run their life, not to try to dictate what they are, who they are, what they're going to do with their life, especially when they get to the age of 17 and 18. They just need someone to listen to them and to love on them no matter what. Now, along with the drama brings me to my next point. Mean Girls. You've ever seen that movie, Mean Girls? Well, that's reality. That's real life stuff right there. No one is more vicious to girls than other girls. Girls can rip each other apart. It is a very toxic environment filled with insults, snide remarks, body shaming, passive aggressiveness, and talking behind each other's backs, knives in each other's back. Drama. Mean girl drama. Now here's how we work with this. We need to teach them how to step back, figure out what is happening below the surface. Forgive, seek forgiveness, and reconcile. Guys, I think it's a little bit easier for us to do my bad, I messed up. Hug it out. Done. Alright? Now, get this. Along with finding out what's below the surface and seeking forgiveness and trying to reconcile, too many of us parents, we try to heighten the emotion by just jumping into the child's defense. Well, guess what? Jumping to their defense isn't always the right action. They need it. They now don't get me wrong. Now they do need our support, but they need help seeing the situation objectively in order to make the relationship right. Now, one teenage girl admitted to me one day that she would be irrational and needed her dad to be rational for her. She came to me and told me that we just had a long conversation, and I encouraged her to have that open dialogue with her dad, because her dad is who she's going to hold other men on that level. You know, she's going to compare other men or boys that she come in contact with to her dad's level, whether it's a dad or a stepdad. Okay, which brings me to my next point: being sexualized. Girls are taught at a very young age that your body is power, and how you work your body determines what you're going to get in life. That is a lie from the adversary. Now, from the earliest age, she sees images of women in the media telling her what she should be and what she should wear and how she should wear it and what she should do and how she should walk and, you know, how she should flip her hair and wear her hair, things like that. Now, those images and what our culture in our society nowadays lifts up as a lovable and has a powerful impact on our girls. By the time our daughters are 12 or perhaps younger in some instances, they are conditioned to believe they need to portray a sexual image or risk being invisible. That's not necessarily true. If you got a piece of paper, I want you to write this down. What young girls at that age, what they really want at their core is to be loved. Our girls need to be reminded where their value comes from, and it should definitely not come from my next point, which is this: finding value in guys. Okay, help instill reinforcing your daughter a positive look on herself without the makeup, without all that. But we know that if you're a father, your girls are of age, she's going to be getting into that age where she wants to wear makeup. Why? Because she sees everyone else doing it. But you know what? Help reinforce with that. Stay strong in that. Stay positive with that. My daughters, they wear makeup every once in a while, you know. And some people say, oh, well, she needs makeup. No, she don't. God made her beautiful in her own way. Okay? So just reinforce that thought in her mind. Because if not, like I said, with this next point I'm about to make, the girls, your daughters, are going to find value from boys, because the boys are going to determine to them what they like and what they want from them, just so they can have one thing. But we have to ensure and reinforce to them that their value does not come from boys at all. So that's my next point: finding value from guys. Now, most young girls mistake attention for love. They try to display anything that receives attention from guys rather than being their beautiful, authentic selves. Protect her from herself. Set expectations about what she can wear and post on social media. Talk to her about what she is communicating through her image and give her insight to the guy's perspective. Ask her questions about how she feels about herself and reinforce why she is lovable. Now, I've done this with my daughters. I've tried to reinforce it. And and something else you guys can do is take your daughters out on dates. Take them out on dates and show them how a real man is supposed to treat them. That way, when they do start dating, that bar is already set at a level that her expectations of a male mate will have to meet. Okay? You have to set that bar now before they get to the age where it's already too late. Now, there's